Today I'll be doing an easy glass cabochon earring tutorial, so stay tuned and I'll show you how to make these from beginning to end. So today I'll be using some templates from my shop, so you can just hop over to my Etsy shop. I'll put a link below in the description, and we're going to be using the 12mm cabochon shapes as well as the hexagon earring card template. So if you are interested in these, just visit my shop and you can find them there. So for today's project, here are some of the some of the supplies that you're going to need today. So you're going to need a pencil, some craft scissors, some tape, washi tape is fine, Mod Podge or some sort of sealant. You're going to need some jewelry glue. So this glue will bond glass and metal. So you want to make sure that you're using strong jewelry glue, some skewers or toothpicks, glass cabochons in any shape that you want. These are 12mm. You're also going to need some cabochon earring bases. So the cabochons sit in here after you glue them in place, and these are for 12mm as well. And then afterwards you may also want to have some display cards to put your earrings on if you're giving them as a gift. And you're also going to need, in addition to this, some rubbing alcohol and for cleaning up the glass cabochons, because sometimes the glue gets stuck on them, and you can use Q-tips or Kleenex. And then you're also going to need some scrapbooking paper or some digital paper. So here I've printed off some designs that I'm going to be using today. So to create the designs behind the glass cabochons, the cabochons are clear, so you can add any design that you like. So you need to have some sort of pattern. You can use digital paper, you can print it off, which is what I'm doing today. You can see this is just computer paper. I printed off a design onto it. Or you can get scrapbooking paper, or you can use fabric or even wood veneer. You can paint the back with nail polish, but today we're just going to be using some digital paper. So why I like using digital paper is because you can customize it. If the pattern, like for example, these are really small, they're just 12mm, so some patterns are too large. So what you can do is you can change the scale. Here you can see that there's a bunch of squares. So the original digital paper was 12 inches and I shrunk it down to be about maybe around 1 inch, and then I just repeated it so I could have a smaller pattern. So you want to print off a bunch of different colors. I have pink and gold, that's a glitter pattern, that's like a foil, it's like a mermaid scale kind of pattern, and a swirl, and this is with denim. So if you're cutting these out by hand, then what you want to do is trace around the cabochon with a pencil, and then afterwards you cut them out by hand, and then you have a bunch of little circles to work with. The other option is if you have a cutting machine, then it can really help streamline the work process. So all you do is you just put it onto your cutting mat and then put it through your machine, and you can cut out the shapes. So if you want to find if you don't want to waste time making the design, or if you don't have one on your computer already, you can visit my shop. So if you're using the template from my shop, after you cut out the paper, you'll see you've got it with a bunch, you'll be left with a bunch of little circles. So I just kind of pick them out a bit with an X-Acto knife, and then they just sort of fall away. So there you can see these are a good size for putting behind the cabochons. So you're just going to glue that right behind. There you can see that it has sort of a denim look to it. So I went ahead and cut out a few different designs. So you can mix and match, or you can just go by the color. You can make some pink earrings, some blue earrings, gold earrings. So once you've cut out the paper, you might want to put down, I just put some leftover cardstock down just to protect my countertop. And then the first step is you just want to get a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and then you just clean the back. And this just gets rid of any fingerprints or dust or anything, just to make them nice and clean and shiny. Then you just have to wait 20 seconds or so for the alcohol to evaporate. So make sure to sign up to my newsletter. If you want to get some free SVG cut templates for earrings, then sign up and I'll send those to you for free. So I'll just put a link right above. So once the alcohol's dried, then you just want to get, today we're using Mod Podge. You can also use Gorilla Glue has a cool sealant. You can just go to your craft store or on Amazon. I'll put a link below to all the different products I'm using today. So then you just take a little bit, like you really just need a drop. You don't want too much because it'll make a mess. And then you just kind of paint a really thin layer in behind. So you can see it's really thin. And then you can choose, and the great thing about cutting them out with a pattern is that you have so many left over for later. You just put them in a little baggie, Ziploc bag, and then you can save them to work faster later on. And also, if you've been enjoying the tutorials I've been putting out, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell, and then you'll be notified of all the future videos I'm putting out. So once you put the glue on the back, then you put the design face down, and you just try to center it, and then you use the back of the skewer or toothpick to smooth it out, and you just try to make sure that it's centered, and it should be easy to move around with the glue. And then you just put that to the side, and then you do the second one. Oops. And then you just smooth it out and just make sure that it's centered. And it's good not to touch it too much because the glue will get on your fingers, and then that'll get on the glass, and then you just have to clean that later. So then you just put that to the side and leave it for 20 minutes to dry. It's really important that you're patient and wait for the glue to dry. And you can even, if you don't want to go through a million toothpicks, you can just clean the Mod Podge off, and it comes off with the alcohol because it's alcohol solvent. And then now you wait. So here I have some that have already dried. So all you have to do now is just repeat the same process. You just put a thin layer on the back of the cabochons, just a really thin layer. You don't want to put too much. It really just uses a drop. And what this does is it seals the paper, because after this step we're going to glue them to the base, and that glue can darken the paper. So you want to put a barrier, some sort of sealant between the paper and the glue. So now we put the glue on the back, and now we wait another 20 minutes for it to dry. So I've been waiting for 20 minutes now, and the glue on the back, the Mod Podge, is totally dry and sealed. So now the next step is you take some rubbing alcohol, and you can either use a Kleenex or a Q-tip, and then you just want to clean the top, but try not to touch the bottom because it can make the glue sticky. And this is just to get rid of any extra residue that got on the glass. So now that you have your cabochons all finished, now you can start assembling your earrings. So you need to get your earring bases and your jewelry glue. So you just give it a little squeeze. With this one it comes out pretty quick. You just need a drop. And then grab the base and you just spread it around. I think I'm going to add a little bit more than that. You just move it around. So I used about 2 or 3 drops of glue, and then take your cabochon and you just drop it in. So there you go. So I'm just going to finish these up. So the earrings have been drying now, and they're all finished. So if you want, you can give them another quick little clean with some rubbing alcohol, and then you're all done. So the next step, if you want to display these, is you can just put them onto some earring cards, and you can find the template, the link for the templates to these in my shop below. And so and then you might want to put some little plastic things on the back just to keep them in place. And another great idea afterwards is just to put them in a little organza bag, and then these make great gifts. Or if you want, you can always sell them at a market, but I think these would make nice stocking stuffers or an add-on if it's your friend's birthday. You can always just add these in because they're easy to make, and once you get started you'll probably end up with a bunch of them, so you can just keep them on hand, or you can create a collection of different colors so that you can match your outfits. And there you go. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, make sure to subscribe, and if you want some free cut files, make sure to click on the link above. And well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.